Hey guys, hopefully everyone is doing well. Today's target is to solve question number 13.24. The chapter which we are related with is leverage and capital structure, managerial finance by Lawrence Gitman. We have already solved several questions related to leverage. Last few questions we are focused upon our EPS and EBIT relationship, where we have created their optimal structure. Optimal means the most beneficial, most economical capital structure, where we can get our maximum EPS or least cost. This is also called optimization, least cost combination, where you are putting less and getting more. Now in this question 13.24, we are again performing the same function. We will be having different capital structures present over here. You can see that in each we have different number of shares. Capital structure is different, cost of debt is different, required rate is different. We will see that which capital structure is most beneficial. That means paying least and getting most. Optimal optimization we are going to do. And here what we will do, we need to create different income statements related to these different capital structures. There are two ways to complete it. One, we can use horizontal space, where we will make 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 different statements with single particulars. That can also be easy space saving, but there will be a problem in these each capital structure. We have to calculate first debt and then we'll have to calculate the percentage, so there is a complication. Now what we will do, we will create our income statement over here, first income statement, and then we will make second and third. So vertical space would be used to calculate our income statements. So let's see what question is saying to us. Here, incorporation name has been introduced. Their total assets are 10 million. EBIT, earning before interest and tax, is 2 million. Dividend 2 lakh. Notable thing is here preferred dividend has already been calculated and total amount of dividend has been given. Instead of putting ratio or a percentage upon preferred share capital, dividend has already been calculated. Tax rate is as usual 40%, and we are needed to determine optimal capital structure. What does that mean? We have these 5 options and we will see where we can get maximum benefit with the least cost. For various levels of indebtedness, this is various levels. Required rate of return is also given. So we are required to calculate earning per share. As usual, we will make income statement for the first part. Alright guys, so here you are making your income statement for 0% debt and 0% debt ratio. Okay, we are taking these two headings. So guys, as you know that our income statement starts with EBIT. If we don't have fixed cost and variable cost, then you will subtract your amount of interest, after which you will subtract your tax, then you will be subtracting your preferred dividend. By subtracting preferred dividend, we will get our net earning or earning available for shareholders. Earning available for common shareholders. It's better to write everything instead of abbreviation. That is why I have used it. So earning before interest and tax and we need to manage it. Actually, I am willing to make it in one single cell, so it's not looking good. And okay, one more thing we can do. Let's try it to make it at one place. That could work. Let's wrap it. Good. So we have net earning available for common share. When you will subtract your tax, you will get earning after interest and after tax. And when you will deduct your interest, you will get your earning after interest but before tax. So guys, our okay, again we need to wrap it. Our statement has been completed. Earning after interest before tax. After interest and before tax is needed to be put over here. It is not coming over here, but okay, again we need to make it our arrangement. Let's arrange it in this way. No, it's not possible. Let's make another column, another row we will create, and this would be managed in that way. Since I have told you these lectures are absolutely live, so whatever I need to do, I will have to do it over here. Okay, instead of this, why not we should have a little more space to show our text. Good, we have got everything. So in this way, your information has been completed for income statement. Now let's put the amount. EBIT is given in your question over here. Come, EBIT is 2 million. So just put 1 2 3 1 2 3. 2 million was your EBIT. Interest, that is why I had said to you that interest is little interest required little calculations. First of all, you will have to understand what is this debt ratio. Capital structure debt ratio mean your debt is 0% in capital structure. Your capital structure total is 10 lakh and there is no debt, as 0% debt is present over here. So it means for this we don't have to calculate. Your amount of interest is 0. Now we can calculate our earning after interest. Since there is no interest, it means previous earning would also be considered as your earning after interest. In absence of interest, now you will calculate your tax. Tax is 40% and we need our earning before tax. Previous earning was 2 million. 2 million. Okay, we need to see it carefully. 40 divided by 100. So we have got our amount of tax over here. Now we can calculate our required income after tax, for which you will have to subtract tax from previous income. 2 million was previous income and your tax was 8 lakh. So you have got your earning after interest and after tax. For preferred dividend, get back to the question. Look over here. Preferred dividend has already been calculated. Amount is 2 lakh. You can directly put over here. So preferred dividend has been posted and now we can calculate our earning available for common shareholders by subtracting preferred dividend from previous earning. Previous earning was 12 lakh and you will subtract your amount of preferred dividend, and this way we have got our earning available for common shareholders. At here you will calculate your earning per share. It is also called EPS. And how do you calculate? You will take your net earning, and these would be divided by common shares. Now net earning was calculated is 1 million, and that is supposed to be divided by common shares. Let's get back to the question. And for first part, your common shares are 2 lakh. So we need to divide it with 2 lakh. Statement is completed. Now we can calculate how many zeros. 6, 3 and 3. Okay. And divided by 2 lakh. 2 lakh. Okay. First EPS we have calculated, and the answer is 5. Let's see what answer is given in your question. Look over here. EPS first answer is 5. It means it has been calculated, amount is accurate, and we can mark it as it has been done. 5 EPS is calculated, and we will now be posting over here. Okay. So guys, our first income statement has been completed, though there was zero debt and zero debt ratio. That is why nothing was present over here. For next statement, we will surely be calculating this. That is why we need everything written over here, and we will use the same thing to calculate our second statement. And here, check it out. Capital structure and debt ratio is 15%. So we will change it. Debt ratio is 15%, and how much cost of debt is 8%. So here you will change 8% cost of debt. So guys, what you will do, your EBIT would be same, but here you will calculate your interest. Remaining amount would automatically be changed. We are going to delete it. Here, first you see how much debt we have. For debt, please note it down. We have capital structure debt ratio 15%, while your total capital structure is 10 million. And here you will calculate your debt. How? Total capital structure you will take and will multiply it with 15%, as look over here, 15% is capital debt ratio, and this is actually capital debt ratio 15%. So you will calculate 15% over here. This way your debt would be calculated, and then we will calculate interest. So please understand what we are going to do. Look over here, these are assets, 10 million of assets, while it was said 15% of total capital structure is debt. What does that mean? Total capital structure, when you will take 15%, it would be your debt. But capital is not provided over here. Instead of that, total assets are given. And you have, I think at this stage, there is no need to explain that your liability and capital side are equal. So if assets are 10 million, it is been understood with the common sense that your liability side or capital side would also be equal to 10 million. So capital structure and debt ratio means 15% of total capital structure would be your debt, and that's what we have done over here. Capital structure, when you will take 15%, it would be your debt. Total capital structure was explained 10 million, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, and then you will multiply it with 15 and then divided by 100. Statement has been completed. So what you will do, 10 million is needed, multiply by 15 and divided by 100. So this is your debt, and now you will again apply the percentage of debt. Cost of debt is 8%. Cost of debt means interest. So here you will calculate your interest by taking your debt and then multiply it with 8%, because cost of debt is 8%. Debt you have already calculated. This is your debt, 150,000, sorry, 15 lakh, and then you will take 8%. For that you will multiply by 8 divided by 100. Statement has been completed. So 15 lakh would be multiplied by 8 and divided by 100. So you have got your amount of interest, that is 1,20,000. So these calculations are literally very important, because without it you will not be able to make your statement. Your interest has been calculated 1,20,000. So you can put over here. Now we can calculate earning after interest. How? By subtracting amount of interest from EBIT. Your EBIT is 2 million. 2 million. Okay, instead of this, I am continuously calculating zero. I will take little help from Excel, because if single zero would be missed, whole answer would be read. So here is your EBIT and amount is 2 million, and you will subtract amount of interest. This is 1,20,000. So we have got our income after interest. It's time to calculate your tax by applying tax rate upon previous income. Our previous income was 18,80,000. Rate of tax is 40%. So you will multiply it with 40 and divide it by 100. We have got our total tax, and now we can calculate earning after tax simply by subtracting amount of tax from previous income. Your previous income was 18,80,000, and you will subtract amount of tax, which is 7,52,000. We have got our earning after tax. And now preferred dividend, it is given in your question. Preferred dividend is 2 lakh, common for all statements. So 2 lakh is your preferred dividend, after which you can calculate your net earning by subtracting preferred dividend from previous income. 11,28,000 previous income, you will subtract your preferred dividend 2 lakh. So finally we have got our net earning 9,28,000, which is basically earning available for common shareholders. It's time to calculate our earning per share, for which what you will do, you need to have net earning. For this part, net earning 9,28,000 you have calculated, and this would be divided by common shares. So let's get back to the question. Common shares for B part is 1,70,000. So here you will put 1,70,000. Statement has been completed. Now you can put it on calculator, 1,70,000. So we have got our second 5.45, or you can call it 5.46. It may be called as 5.46. So in this way our second answer has been calculated. Let's mark it, and we have to confirm it from your book. Look at over here, second answer is 5.46 and our answer is 5.458. This may be called 5.46. In this way, second statement has also been calculated. And what we will do, this statement would be used to calculate next statement. It's little easy for us. This is your third statement, and previously you have calculated your second statement, and here was your first statement. So these are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and third statement we are up to. Since I was saying that these amounts are not needed, we can erase them. Similarly, these amounts are not needed, so we can erase them. Alright guys, and finally these are also not required, we are erasing them. Let's start our third part. Please note it down. We are at third part. So first we will change these headings. For third part, cost of debt is 9%. So let's change it. Cost of debt is now 9%. And what is cost capital debt ratio for third stage is 30%. So let's mention it as 30%. When we are writing our question over here, it would be little easy for us to calculate. The first challenge is to calculate amount of interest, for which you will come over here. Your capital structure is 10 million and rate of capital debt ratio now is 30%. So you will multiply it with 30 and will divide it with 100, because your capital debt ratio has been changed from 15 to 30%. Statement is completed. Now we will be calculating it, and simply we will put it on calculator. For Excel we will just going to change our signs. So in this way we have got our total debt, and now we will calculate interest. To calculate our interest, total debt was 30 lakh, 3 million. Okay, so for 3 million, we will then multiply it with 8. Okay, 9% is now multiplied by 9 divided by 100. This statement would be changed because for third it is 9%. Statement has been completed, 3 million, and then you will multiply it with 9 divided by 100. So we have got 2,70,000 as amount of interest. Since the only challenge over here is to calculate amount of interest, and that has been calculated 2,70,000. At this stage we can calculate earning after interest by subtracting interest from previous income EBIT. Previous income was 2 million, and then you need to subtract amount of interest, which is 2,70,000. So we have got 17,30,000 as earning after interest. Here you can calculate your amount of tax, for which you need previous income, which is 17,30,000, and you need to calculate 40 divided by 140%. Amount of tax has been calculated. Now you can calculate earning after tax, for which tax would be subtracted from previous income. Your previous income was 70,30,000 and your tax was 6,92,000. So we have got our income after tax. Preferred dividend was given in your question, and that is 2 lakh. So simply we will put 2 lakh over here, which will allow us to calculate our earning available for shareholders, for which you will subtract preferred dividend from previous earning. Previous earning 10,38,000 and amount of preferred dividend is 2 lakh. We have got finally our income available for shareholders 8,38,000, which will let us to calculate our EPS, means earning per share. Net earning, which is calculated 8,38,000, and we need to divide it with common shares. So let's get back because we are doing third part. 1, 2, 3. So third part common shares are 1,40,000. So here you will be putting 1,40,000 as your common share. So now we can put it on our calculator. 8,38,000 divided by 140,000. Okay guys, we have our answer. 5.99 or 5.98 can be called. Okay, we have 5.99, our next answer. So as you know, we have calculated over here. It should be here, and here you can write it, or 5.99. So in this way, our third income statement has been completed. Let's mark it as it has been done. Now we are open to calculate our fourth statement, for which what we will do, this whole performer we need, and Excel is giving us a little help. Instead of writing everything again and again, we are just taking help and using same headings. These amounts are unnecessary now, taken from the previous, and here these calculations are not needed. Let's come down, and obviously these calculations are also unnecessary. Now we will change this whole structure. We are doing fourth part. For fourth part, 1, 2, 3, fourth part, capital debt ratio is 45%. And let's change it as 45% over here. And you will change over here as well, 45%. One second. This was part 2 and we are doing part 4. So we'll have to go again for that part. This is 45% capital debt ratio. Let's check it out again. We have fourth part, 1, 2, 3, 4. 45% is capital structure. Cost of debt is 12%. So here cost of debt would be changed as 12%. Let's change these statements as well. So capital structure and debt ratio was 45%, and cost of debt is also changed from 9% to 12%. Okay guys, let's start our work. Capital structure is 10 million, and then you need to multiply it with 45 and then divide by 100 to get our amount of debt. 10 million multiply by 45 divided by 100. So we have got our amount of debt, and now you will calculate your amount of interest. 45 lakh is your amount of debt, and then you need to multiply uh, uh, this is equal to, is not needed, 45 lakh, and you need to multiply it with 12 and then divided by 100. Statement has been completed. We are now open to calculate our amount of interest by following the statement. So amount of interest for fourth column we have calculated is 5,40,000. Let's put it over here. Amount of interest was calculated 5,40,000. After posting it, we are open to calculate our earning after interest by subtracting amount of interest from EBIT. So EBIT was 2 million, and we need to subtract our amount of interest, which is 5,40,000. So we have got our income after interest. Here we are required to calculate our tax, for which rate of tax is 40% and would be applied upon previous income. Your previous income is 14,60,000 and you need to calculate 40%, multiply by 40 divided by 100. So we have got our amount of tax, and now we can calculate earning after tax by subtracting tax from previous income. Your previous income 14,60,000, you need to subtract tax, which is 5,84,000. We have got amount or earning after tax. We need to put preferred dividend, and this is given in your question, 2 lakh preferred dividend. Let's put it over here, 2 lakh, and now we can calculate earning after interest tax and after preferred dividend. That means earning available for common shareholders by subtracting preferred dividend from previous earning. Your previous earning was 8,76,000. You need to subtract your preferred dividend, 2 lakh. We have got our income 6,76,000, and now we are going to calculate earning per share. For earning per share, we need to put amounts of net earning, which is 6,76,000, and we will divide it with the number of shares, for which we will go to the fourth part. Okay, so 1 2 3 fourth part, 1,10,000 are number of shares. So let's put 1,10,000. Statement has been completed. Now we can put it on our calculator, 1,10,000. So we have got 6.14, and you can see that 6.15, and check over here 6.145. So we can write it as 6.15 to make it round. So our fourth EPS has been calculated, 6.15, and total numbers are 1 2 3 4 5. So it means next would be our last income statement, which would be made, and we are hiring these headings for our calculations. Look, when you will be doing it on your copy, obviously it would take some time, and you should be very cool and very calm. So for fifth statement, we are going to see how much capital debt ratio, 60%. So here your fifth statement is going to be started, and your, I forgot how much rate was, 60%. So let's write over here 60% is your capital debt ratio, and cost of debt is 15%. So let's write down 15%. This is your fifth part, and all these calculations were copied, and now they are not needed to be put over here. We are going to erase them, and let's see what it was here. This is also not needed. Let's delete them. Amount of interest would now be calculated. Your capital structure is 10 million, and you are needed to calculate 45% given over here. No, this percentage was changed from 45 to 60%, and here you will change it 60%, and interest or cost of debt is also needed to be changed, which is now 15% for fifth point. Okay, cost of debt was 15%. How we have taken it? For last entry, cost of debt is 15% and capital structure is 60. Cost debt ratio is 60%. So that is why you have taken 16 and 15%. So guys, we have now open to calculate our total debt, for which 10 million was your capital structure. You will multiply it with 60 divided by 100. So we have got our total debt. Now interest would be calculated, for which we need our debt. Amount of debt is 6 million, and you will multiply it with 15 and then divided by 100 to get our amount of interest 6 million, and you will take 15%. So we have got 9 lakh as amount of interest. Let's put it on its place. Amount of interest has been calculated as 9 lakh. Now we are open to calculate our earning after interest by subtracting interest from EBIT. 2 million is your EBIT, and then you will subtract amount of interest, which is 9 lakh. So we have got our earning after interest. Here we will be able to calculate our tax, for which tax rate 40% is available, applicable upon previous income. Your previous income was 11 lakh, and then you will multiply it with 40 and divide it with 100. So we have got our tax. After which we can calculate our earning after tax by subtracting tax from previous income. Your previous income was 11 lakh, and amount of tax which was calculated for 40,000. We have got our earning after interest and after tax. Preferred dividend was present over here, that is 2 lakh, and you will put 2 lakh in place of preferred dividend. At this stage we are now able to calculate our earning available for common shareholders by subtracting preferred dividend from previous income. 6,60,000 was previous income, and you will subtract your preferred dividend 2 lakh. We have got our income as 4,60,000. After calculations, we are now able to calculate earning per share, for which we need net earning or earning available for common shareholder 4,60,000, and we need to divide it with common shares. Let's get back to the question, and you can see that our common shares are visible, 80,000. So you will just put 80,000 over here. Now we can calculate it. 4,60,000 divided by 80,000. We have got our amount 5.75. Let's see if answer has been changed. No, last answer is 5.75. It means same answer would be written over here for 5.75. 75, it means all EPS have been calculated. This is your EPS. First part has been solved, and now let's see what B part is saying using equation in 13.12 that I have in my mind. First I will write that equation and will let you know what is this about. Price of per share. Here we are starting our B part, for which we need a little space. Let's put it over here. Price per share is needed to be calculated, for which you will use EPS and divide it with required rate of return. Price per share would be calculated by dividing EPS with required rate of return. So to calculate it, we will now be putting EPS, which we have calculated over here, and second thing which is required is to write required rate of return, and this is given in your question. So let's wrap it up and write down EPS, which we have calculated. and we were having four parts: 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And EPS for first structure, instead of this, let's write it. Let's ask Excel to write it. For first EPS, we will go upside, and this was your first EPS we have calculated as 5. Put it over here. Now we will put second EPS, which was calculated as 5.46. Put over here. We will edit it later on, and now we will see third EPS. This was your third EPS. Put it over here. Then we need to put fourth EPS, that was 6.15, and your fifth EPS is over here. This was 5.75. All EPS have been written, and what we need, we don't. Okay, there is a problem. Haha. 5.46 would be noted down over here, and then 5.99, then 6.15. So now these statements are not needed. We will pick these and we'll be writing over here. So in this way, first part is completed. We were supposed to write our EPS, and that's what we have written. And now required rate of return is given in your question, and that is present over here, required rate of return. 12, 13, 14. This is little easy to write. 12, 13, 14, 16, 20. So 12, 13, 14, 16, 20. Let's check it out again. 12, 13, 14, 16, 20. 12, 13, 14, 16, 20, and this is your percentage. Please keep it in mind, required rate of return is given in terms of percentages. And when you will make it as percent, I'm sure that you know percent means 12 divided by 100. So what you will write is 0.12. In the similar way, you will change 13%. Why I'm doing it? Because it's necessary to change it, with which you will be able to put it in our formula. This is your formula, required rate of return. So here 16 divided by 100. Finally we have got last percentage 20%. So second column has also been completed, and we have got our required rate of return. Please note it down. How we will calculate EPS? By taking, how we will calculate price per share. For that, EPS would be taken, and that would be divided by required rate of return, and we need to adjust it as well. Matter is now becoming very simple. And why? Because every information has been written accordingly, and we do not need now to bother, because simply what we will do, EPS would be divided by required rate of return, which is mentioned over here. So first EPS was 5, and it is needed to divide it with required rate of return, that was 12%. We have got our first price per share. This is what we are going to calculate, is price per share. For second price of per share, we need to divide EPS, that is 5.46, by required rate of return, which is 0.13. So we have got our second price per share. Then for third, we do have EPS 5.99. It would be divided by required rate, which was 0.14. So we have got our third price per share. For fourth, EPS was 6.15. We need to divide it with percentage 16%. This is your fourth price per share. For fifth, EPS was 5.75 and we have required rate of return 20%. So these are prices per share. Let's get back to the question and we have to check the answers. First is 41.67, 41.67. Okay, and second answer is 42, and I think we have calculated 42 as well. So second answer is 42, third answer is 42.78. So our third answer is 42.79. It's okay. Next answer is 38.44. So we have got 38.44 and our last answer mentioned over here is 28.75. So 28.75. In this way all answers are matched. Just you can write this as to reduce the decimal. Let me check. Okay, instead of doing long work, let's write down. So answers are written in this way. A round of answers are present. 38.44 and 28.75. So this way rounded answers were given and they are almost the same which we have calculated. So it has been completed. As you can see that your answer was 41.67. So I have just rounded them off here 41.67 and second answer was exactly 42. That is okay. Next answer was 42.79. You can see 42.79 was better. Okay, I have rounded it. Look at over here 48.78. It could be written 48.79. And second last answer 38.44. 38.44 and last answer 28.75. Last answer 28.75. Now these are matched. So it means our B part has also been ended. Let's see what C part is saying to us. Choose the oh, that was actual requirement of the question, optimal capital structure, and we will do it orally. Here you will solve your C point. And please observe, at first stage your capital structure was 41, means price per share. These are prices per share which we have calculated, and we are going to observe it in a little different way. You can see that price per share 41, then price per share has been increased 42. We will be happy. Every organization will be happy if price per share is increasing. Then price of per share at third stage has also been increasing 41, 42.79. So it's a matter of satisfaction. But as you have increased your capital structure from third place to fourth place, where your debt has been increased, you can see that debt was increased from 0 to 15, from 15 to 30, and at fourth stage it had 45% of total capital structure was debt. So over here you can see that at your fourth level, instead of increase in price of share, that has been decreased. So this would be considered as your optimal stage. Beyond that, company is not facing any favorable situation. Although you are increasing your loan with which your capability of production can be increased, but ultimately it becomes unfavorable to increase your level of loan. How did you come to know? Look over here. Debt ratio is 0%, which means in total capital structure, no loan has been taken. Here 15% loan, 30% loan and 45% loan. After 30%, we have decided that this was your 30% loan limit. And when you have increased your loan limit from 30 to 45, what happened? Your per share price has been dropped, which is extremely unfavorable for any organization. So this is your optimal stage. Beyond this or after this, you will not be able to get an increased per share price. So you must stop over here. No further loan or debt should be included in our capital structure. Let's get back to the question. We were having how many parts? Three parts, and all parts are completed. Earning per share was over here. First income statement it was 5, and 5 is present over here. For second income statement it was 5.46, 5.46. For third income statement it was 5.99, 5.99. And then we need to see our fourth income statement. Here is your fourth income statement, and EPS was calculated 6.15, and here is your 6.15 fourth. And then we need to see fifth income statement that was made over here, and EPS was calculated 5.75, and this is your 5.75. First part reviewed, answers are matched. Then for second B part we were having 41.67, this was first. And then for second part we were having 42, this is 42. And for third 42.79, third 42.79, and fourth part is 38.44, and we have got 38.44. Last answer is 28.75. Your last answer is 28.75. In this way B part is also completed, and C part was saying to choose optimal capital structure. At here, instead of writing C over here, let's write down over here 40 at price 42.79, company would be at optimal stage. Why? Because after this stage, price per share started to be dropped. You can see that continuously price per share was increasing from 41 to 42 to 42.79, but after that price has been dropped. So this is optimal. Maximum benefit the company can take is at this stage, after which your price would be decreased. So this was your C part. In this way, all three parts were seen, their answers are matched. Look over here, these were two stages, answer were matched, question has been reviewed, solution is in front of you. It means our question number 13.24 is 100% completed. After reviewing all answers, these answers were matched as well. Though our question has been completed, your solution is in front of you. Every part of the question has been reviewed. Answers are matched. But even then, I'm saying, offering you to please put your queries or your misunderstandings or the statement or any part of question which you are feeling difficult, you are very open to put your question through messages, text, or you can directly meet to ask your question. I will surely be available to answer them instantly. 13.24 has been completed. It's time to end our lecture. Surely we will be meeting soon again for solution of any other question in future. Up till then, please take care of yourself, and I'm requesting you to please pray for me as well. Thank you very much for your time. It's time to say goodbye. Allah Hafiz.